What's going on, folks? John back. That's not the name of the show. I'm just back. My name is John, and I'm back. Welcome back. This is Jon Does. This is episode 51. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've done 51 episodes. This will be the 51st episode. Don't forget to check out wilddinosaur.com. Pull this over. I got some cool stuff from my website there. Got these tote bags with my art. They're these nice polyester bags with these really nice handles, really solidly attached to the bags. And you get your option of color. There's yellow and red and black. And I don't have a tote with black, but I should get one. So go check out my website. There's cool merch there. T-shirts like that one, and tote bags and sweatshirts, and I'm sure everybody needs sweatshirts because it's super hot. I mean, I guess it depends on where you live, but oh no, the 5-year-old is running around. I'm gonna be up front. I might make this a shorter episode. My stomach's kind of weird. Got this 5-year-old that's been, he's been great. He's been real great. Tighten this shot a little bit. There we go. Get that chair out of there. So, yeah, this might be a little bit shorter of an episode than usual. But before any of that happens, oopsies, I need to adjust here. There was 2 pieces of news that came out today that I thought were relatively interesting. The first one was this. That is just a picture of Gran Turismo 7. It's coming to PlayStation 5. It's out, I think, or it's going to be out soon. But the news around Gran Turismo, I, for some reason, always say grand. It's gran, like grandma. Grandma Turismo. David Harbour set to star in Gran Turismo for Sony and PlayStation. This is an exclusive story today. Neil Blomkamp, which is interesting, better known for his sci-fi movies such as District 9 and Elysium, is directing the project that is inspired by both the best-selling video game and a true story about one of its players. David Harbour, this is from the Hollywood Reporter. David Harbour is revving his engines. The Stranger Things star has signed on to star in Gran Turismo, the Sony Pictures and PlayStation Productions feature adaptation of the best-selling racing video game. Neil Blomkamp, I added a there. There is no, it's Blomkamp. I just did it again. What is my problem? Blomkamp? There we go. Better known for sci-fi movies such as District 9 and Elysium, is hitting where the rubber meets the road with this one, directing the project that has a script by Jason Hall, who did American Sniper, and Zach Balin, who did King Richard. Based on a true story, the project is described as the ultimate wish fulfillment tale of a teenage Gran Turismo player whose gaming skills won a series of Nissan competitions to become an actual professional race car driver. Harbour will play a retired driver who teaches the teen to drive. As one of PlayStation's longest-standing and most beloved franchises, it's great to be partnering with Columbia Pictures again to be bringing Gran Turismo to life in an exciting way, says Quizzlebosh, one of the producers, in a statement. We can't wait for the audiences to see Neil's vision of this inspiring true story of gamer turned professional race car driver. Sony is planning a theatrical release for Turismo, setting an August 11th, 2023 opening. Turismo was a revolutionary game when it first debuted in 1997, being a racing game that captured the sights and sounds of being behind the wheel better than any other game had at that point. With games across many PlayStation platforms, the game is reportedly the biggest selling Sony game of all time. That's interesting. I didn't realize that. That is actually really interesting. Gran Turismo, huh? I would have put it on something else completely, but I guess that's just my taste in games. After years of fits and starts, Sony and PlayStation production seem to have finally getting into a groove with video game adaptations. Uncharted, which starred Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, earned over $400 million worldwide when it was released earlier this year. A TV version of The Last of Us is in production and is headed to HBO. And the works are movie versions of Ghost of Tsushima, with Chad Skalinsky attached to direct, and a series take on Twisted Metal being written by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, and to star Anthony Mackie. Harbour was recently seen on stage at D23, the Disney convention, where it was revealed that he would be reprising his Black Widow role of Red Guardian for Marvel Studios' upcoming Thunderbolts movie. So that's basically the story. So yeah, it's really interesting that Sony is really. Oh no, what was that? That was weird. Some random music started playing. There we go. It's this. What's going on here? Buick? Get out of here, Buick. I'll never own a Buick. Uh-oh. Sounds like the 5-year-old's in trouble. So, yeah, Gran Turismo movie. It seems pretty cool that Sony is kind of getting into it. You know, I remember hearing for a long time Nintendo wouldn't do any game stuff because of the failure of the Mario movie that came out in the 90s. And it seems, like PlayStation at least is kind of on the opposite tip of let's make some movies happen. There was some imagery from the Last of Us series that's coming to HBO, I think later this year or early 2023. HBO did one of those. I think it was right before. I think I saw it before House of the Dragon, the first episode of that. But they kind of just show stuff coming up on HBO, and there was a couple of scenes, which is cool because I never played The Last of Us. Which maybe I'll ask for your help here in the second segment, because I'm gonna need I need some help this episode. I'm gonna need you guys' help after the commercial break. All right, so stick around. Not going to break yet. Yeah, I haven't played The Last of Us, but who is it? It's I forget the girl's name who was Lyanna Mormont in Game of Thrones, the little girl that was like super badass. And Pedro Pascal are the two leads of The Last of Us, and that looks so far it looks pretty good. I mean, I've talked about Ghost of Tsushima being one of my favorite games. I'm really excited about a take on that. The other one that they didn't mention here in this article, which we talked about last week, was Horizon is getting an adaptation. And that's under Sony, I believe, too. Twisted Metal is something I hadn't thought of in a while. And then maybe last year I was like, dude, has there been any new Twisted Metal games? And I think there was like one. But I used to play Twisted Metal 2 all the time when I was younger, on my brother's old PlayStation, the first one. This PlayStation 5 is the first PlayStation I've had since the first PlayStation. I've mentioned before, I have been more of a Nintendo fan. Yeah, so David Harbour, he's great. I like it when he pops up and stuff. I think he was in was he in the Suicide Squad, the first Suicide Squad as like a rando like man in black. I think that worked for Waller. I think he's been in a handful of things like that, but yeah, I liked him. I think he's pretty good as Red Guardian, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to more of that. Sorry, I just boosted my volume a little bit for you because I'm mumbling today. I'm trying not to draw too much attention to myself. It will maybe be bad and cause my show to explode. So yeah, Gran Turismo. Any of you guys play Gran Turismo games at all? I think the only one I ever really played, if I'm remembering correctly, was like arcade versions where you get in like a car kind of simulator type deal. I might have played Gran. Oh, you know what? I think Pat brought it over when I got the PlayStation. I like an older version. I don't remember. I'm not terribly big on racing games, to be honest. Mario Kart is kind of the peak, in my opinion, peak racing. Which, oh man, I did recently play the instead of making a full new Mario Kart game. Oh man, this is bothering me. That green dot on my face. It's just this light. Yeah, so Mario Kart 8 came out with the Wii U in like 2014 or 15 or something like that. And instead of making a new Mario Kart, they just decided to do DLC courses, which I'm fine with for the most part because I like Mario Kart 8. I think it's the best Mario Kart since the Super NES Mario Kart. Excuse me, my throat's rough. Take a sip of vodka. I'm just kidding. It's not vodka. It's not vodka. Yeah, so racing games aren't my favorite, but I think the take that they have for this movie sounds pretty interesting. You know, if there's a real life story around somebody that played the game that actually became a race car driver, that's more interesting than them trying to do like a straight up like make it like a game like a Fast and the Furious movie or something like that, you know. I think that's a better idea. Now I remember hearing, and I think this turned out to be like false, but I remembered hearing something and it was just along the lines of the same kind of thing, where they were going to do a movie about, what was it, the guy that created the hot Cheeto or something like that. The way I understood it was like there was a janitor or a sanitation person that like decided to put chili powder on their Cheetos, and they worked for Lay's chips or whatever, and he was the guy that invented Frito-Lay and became moved up the corporate ladder, you know. I'm not sure if that's true. The story was out there, but I think I remembered hearing that it turned out to not be true. But that was one of those movies where I was like, that's a cool like real life story that they were gonna make. But of course, if it's not true, then whatever. Speaking of not true, oh boy, I want to talk about this, but I haven't watched it yet. But my God, that Weird Al movie that's coming out, that looks amazing. Like, legitimately, I want to own this movie. I haven't even seen it yet. I looked to see if there was going to be like a pre-order on iTunes. No. And by the way, like, this is not an actual biopic, however you want to pronounce it. I think the jury's still out on that. I like biopic. Um, because it's like a biography picture, biopic. Um, so yeah, it's not like an actual autobiography. It's like a lot of stuff's made up. Like what's is it Evan Rachel Wood? I always put her names out of order and I feel really bad about it. I do like her as an actress. She's I think I really started to pay attention in Westworld. That show kind of did something else for me, but I think she's great in it. And there's another movie I saw a trailer for that she looked pretty good in that I wanted to watch. Anyways, yeah, she plays Madonna, and in the Weird Al biopic, they have like a hot, steamy romance, which is just great. This is coming from somebody who grew up being a Weird Al fan. Cards on the table, my first concert that I ever went to. Musical concert. I got y'all beat in the best live performances, first live performances. The first live performance I've ever seen was Gallagher. And I had him autograph a sock. It was great. The first musical performance that I saw was at the same venue, Oxnard Performing Arts Center, when I was a kid. It was Weird Al Yankovic. And he had a stand-up comedian as his opening act. And I remember him doing jokes about like Super Nintendo and being like, "Oh, this is the best! Oh my gosh!" So yeah. Where was I going with all this? Oh yeah, Weird Al movie. Let's freaking go. Daniel Radcliffe. Like, I like the Harry Potter movies. Man, I've loved his like post Harry Potter resume. A movie I never really finished, but I really enjoyed it was Swiss Army Man. And then there's been some other wacky ones that he's done. I think he did one where he was like a gravedigger in the like 18th century or something like that. That was like a dark comedy. I think Alan Tudyk was in it or something. That one was really entertaining. This looks great. This Weird Al thing looks great. Oh, and then Guns Akimbo. That movie was way more entertaining than I expected it to be. I really like Daniel Radcliffe, and I even if he never goes back to Harry Potter, which I'm sure Warner Brothers would love for there to be more Harry Potter. I'm sure. Even if he never reprises that role again as like an older Harry Potter or anything like that, I still think he's done some great movies. Yeah, just more Daniel Radcliffe, please. I'll take two. I'll take two Radcliffes. Alec, I'll take two Radcliffes for 400. All right, the other story I wanted to get into before the last half of the show, which again, I might cut this a little short. My stomach's feeling a little weird, and no, I don't want to get too personal, but yeah, just feeling a little off today. I don't know if you can tell. I seem to be reading the same at the same pace that I usually do, which is a lot of repeats because I'm just an imbecile. All right, so the next story that I want to talk about is really interesting, and there's a tiny bit of a personal connection to this. There was a movie that is being pulled from the Toronto Film Festival over rights issues, and this is a really interesting story altogether. It's called The People's Joker. It was pulled from Toronto. Again, this is another. Sorry, gotta state this is a Hollywood Reporter article I'm reading. Vera Drew's queer coming of age film, with its reimagining of Gotham City, has been withdrawn from further plays at the festival following a world premiere after midnight Tuesday. The People's Joker, Vera Drew's debut feature about a trans woman working in a comedy set in a comedy set in the Batman universe has been pulled from the Toronto Film International Film Festival for further screenings after its world premiere. The filmmaker has withdrawn this film due to rights issues. We apologize for any inconvenience. Current ticket holders will receive an email from TIFF Customer Relations with information on their purchase. TIFF said on its website for The People's Joker on Wednesday, ahead of another screening at Scotiabank Theater tonight that is now not going on ahead. Festival organizers confirmed the withdrawal of the queer coming-of-age tale from its additional play at TIFF. The filmmakers behind the movie include the production banner Haunted Gay Ride Productions. I didn't catch that the first time around. That's a great production. Haunted Gay Ride Productions offered no direct comment when the Hollywood Reporter reached out. Warner Brothers Discovery, which owns Batman and other DC Entertainment characters, cannot be reached for comment on whether the studio has asserted its rights to copyright protection over the use of the Joker character in Batman universe and the TIFF title. The People's Joker features Drew starring as an aspiring clown grappling with gender identity as she aspires to join UCB Live, a popular TV sketch comedy set in the Batman universe. The withdrawal notice followed by the first screening in Toronto was part of the Midnight Madness program at the Royal Alexandra Theatre. The film's premiere early Wednesday morning was quickly followed by the withdrawal announcement being posted on the festival's website. Drew, on Tuesday, in a Zoom interview, said that the filmmakers know they're in an illegal gray zone. I, Vera Drew, don't own Joker and Batman, but it's a parody, the trans comic told the interviewer, as the film aims at copyright protection as a parody. The queer coming-of-age movie, besides Drew, stars Lynn Downey, Kane Distiller, Nathan Foston, David Liebhart. That's not really a personal connection, but I did some work for David Liebhart. David Liebhart production. Christian Calloway, Griffin Kramer, Phil Braun, Tim Heidecker, Ember Knight, and Sarah Sherman. The People's Joker is Drew's feature debut after credits that include On Cinema from 2017, Who is America 2018, and Our Bodies 2019, in addition to music videos. So that's the end of that. So I think this is a really interesting story. You know, if it's parody, I'd call it parody, whatever. If you like comics, you can already understand the idea of what if scenarios, or, you know, just like making stories for fun. And when you know, there's a lot of big intellectual properties that characters from intellectual properties that can fit archetypes well. I don't know. This seems like a movie I would have been interested to see. It might come out. We'll see what happens. This without seeing it, I don't know how close to like parody it resembles, but there have been occasions where studios have been like pretty okay with like fan films. I know there was a big thing with Star Trek for a while. They were suing some people who had made some Star Trek fan films, but alternatively, like George Lucas always approved, always approved like fan films. So I don't know. Especially because of where Warner Brothers has been lately, they would probably do them a little bit of gain them a little bit of goodwill with audiences, I guess, if they were like, oh yeah, that's fine, go ahead and just parody this, go ahead and put your movie out. I would be like, Warner Brothers, you're pretty cool, and I'll even throw in the Warner Brothers Discovery. I will present you your full name. Yeah. Warner Brothers Discovery. I will call you by your preferred pronouns. Warner Brothers Discovery. No, I'm just kidding. No, but this story actually does sound pretty interesting. Um, I don't know. I like it when people can use. Sometimes it's hard to create your own worlds and universes, and so just working within stuff that already exists is an easy way to get. I don't want to say like this is non-creative or anything. It's just like an easy way to jumpstart your story, or to like get an idea going. Um, I do think we should, as a whole society, maybe start leaning outside of those IPs a little bit more, but that's a different discussion. And I'm never going to tell anybody that they shouldn't be creative by using another platform to jump off of. This is one of those long things where I've learned over time. You know, I used to be slightly part of those conversations of like analog versus digital when it came to music making, and now it's like I really don't care. Just make whatever. Like as long as you're doing something creative and making something, then just do it. I don't care. Um, I have my own personal issues with like blending analog and digital music together, but that's just because I'm not the best at mixing. Excuse me. Um, you know, I had mentioned before there are people I would like to get on this podcast, on the live stream. And one of my like this is just cards on the this is high hopes. This is it. I'm not announcing anything. High hopes. I would love to get David Liebhart on this show for an interview. I would love to do that. I think I need to grow a little bit more for him to take me seriously in this regard. But I have worked with him indirectly, not directly, indirectly. Um, I'm, how would you say, acquaintances with his music producer, the Mole. We have a mutual, really good friend. And he lives somewhere else and than I do, so we don't get to hang out very often. But we've hung out a couple times. And I have done a couple of things. I did. Where is it? I worked on this. This is David Liebhart's comic, Heartman. I have an autographed copy here. Best wishes from David Liebhart. This is great. But yeah, no, I do have some art in this. I did one page. This is my page right here. Oops. this swirly, nope, not this page. This page. There we go. That one. The swirly stuff and this landscape with the pyramid in it. Yeah. Those were some of my earlier days in Photoshop, but I made it into a comic. It's the only comic I've worked in so far. Would love to work with other people who are making stuff. Just throwing it out there. You need help? I can help. So yeah, David Liebhart would be a fascinating character to get on here because he has done some weird stuff for sure. And yeah, you know, I got to take care of some technical stuff, and I need to build the channel a little bit more. But there's a possibility of getting him or Jonah, the Mole, who has his own bunch of stuff that he does, tons and tons of music, and he's got his own podcast where he talks hip hop music and just other. I think it's called Weird Rap. So you should check out Weird Rap with Jonah the Mole. And oh yeah, I did the comic, and I did help with Jonah has a David Liebhart project called Chip the Black Boy, where he's a puppet, and one of the music videos I did some animation on. I didn't know how it was going to end up turning out, and it ended up turning out good, much better than what I had been working on. I just didn't realize what kind of level we were working at, because it was, there's no blame on anybody here. I'm not saying that. There was a little bit of pressure and maybe a lack of direction, and that is partly on me too. But I would love to work with them again. Yeah. Anyways, go check out Weird Rap with Jonah the Mole podcast. I wonder where that's at. Sorry, I'm looking it up. Weird Rap record label. The Mole Weird Rap podcast coming soon. Yeah, it's 2020. Yeah, it's just The Mole on Facebook. Sorry, I should look up their YouTube. But by The Mole, it's TH apostrophe and then MOLE. Yeah, and we make vastly different music, but we have some like visual stuff in common, I would say. Yeah, so whenever I get the chance, I would love to do another one. I did actually talk to somebody about potentially shooting a video, but that was last April, this last April, and I was out of the state, and I couldn't have helped them with that, which is unfortunate, because like I said, I want to do more with Jonah and hopefully David at some point. All right, I'm gonna do a quick commercial break, but hey, will you guys stick around, because I need your help. I need some chat interaction here after the commercial break, because I finished Horizon Forbidden West, and I have a list. I unfortunately didn't make graphics today, just too much going on. I would have liked to have made graphics, and I don't know how to do YouTube polls, chat polls. I can do them, I guess. I just don't know how. So let's do a quick commercial break, and then I'm going to need your help picking out what next video game I should play. So yeah, we'll just do a quick break. I'll see you guys in just a minute.
I'm Richard from Richard's Pet Wedding Facilities, and I give these stickers away at every pet wedding. The kids love them too.
This bag from, what's his name? Wild Dinosaur? Weren't they all wild? What an oxymoron. Anyways, I like to put my special things in this bag. Plus, I'm pretty sure this is my spirit animal.
Life gave me lemons, so I sold them for this sweet baseball tee. All right, I'm back. Okay, so like I stated before the commercial break, I finished Horizon Forbidden West, which I really liked. It's not my favorite game in the world, but it is up there for an old guy here who hasn't played a ton of video games. Sorry, tighten that shot up again. I need a tilt, but I'm not going to do the tilt because it's a little frustrating. I'm going to undo a thing and then undo another thing and then tilt it up just right and then check it. Anyways, you don't care. You can see my face. You can hear my voice. I need to find a better place for this light. It's just on my face now. There we go. It's on my face now. I was keeping it over here, but then it was in my Pat's face, or if I have guests over, it's just right in their face. The best spot is down here where it was on the guitars, but it's just kind of in the way, so I need to find a better spot for it. But anyways, you get some trippy visuals off my cheek. There we go. So I should probably put my glasses on for this. All right. I have a bunch of video games that I haven't played yet that I have here. There's one that I actually don't have, but I would pick it up because it's on this list here of things that I would like to play. So I'll start off with I have God of War from PlayStation 4. I started that, and for some reason I stopped. Not that it was a bad game. I think I was just excited because I'd gotten like 4 or 5 games at once or something like that. And what did I stopped because I just started getting super excited about playing Ghost of Tsushima. So I did do that. So I could get back to playing God of War. I also have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which kind of scares me because I love Black Flag so much. And I've heard people complaining about the downfall of the Assassin's Creed titles. Now, I know there's some news coming soon, or that they just announced about Assassin's Creed stuff, which I don't quite understand because I didn't comprehend what I was reading. I have to get back to figuring out what's going on with the Assassin's Creed franchise. So after Assassin's Creed, I also have the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection. I've never played any Uncharted games. I just saw the movie recently, and it was fine. It was fine. I have Jedi Fallen Order, which I wanted to start before I started Horizon, just because I'm a big Star Wars fan. But I was put off by people talking about being frustrated with the game mechanics, and I decided to go with Horizon. And then a little bit into Horizon, I felt like, yeah, maybe I should have just played. I'm not hating on Horizon. Again, I really liked the game quite a bit, but I was worried about the frustration of controls, and then I ran into frustration over controls in Horizon. So yeah, Jedi Fallen Order. And then the last one that I'm considering is Sackboy. It's just like a Mario style game, 3D style, but yeah, it's different from these open world games that I tend to lean into. So these are my choices, but there's also 3 other things that I'm considering. Of course, I've never played these games that I just listed off. But there are 3 other games I would very much play for a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th time. I would be willing to play Ghost of Tsushima over again. I would be willing to play Black Flag for a 3rd or 4th time. I can't remember. And again, we have a title for Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And I would be very willing to replay Breath of the Wild for the 9th or 10th time, or however many times I've done that. Ratchet and Clank. You know, that hasn't been on my list. Not for any reason other than just like that's one of those games that never like stuck out to me. It was like Banjo and Kazooie, games that looked kind of fun, but like I'd just play Mario instead or whatever. But the last thing I did Ratchet and Clank wise was I saw that movie. Oh man, that was maybe the first movie I've fallen asleep in. Dang, my nose is stuffy. There's a bat in the cave, I think. Definite bat in the cave. Yeah, there was a movie. It was an animated movie, and it was pretty bad. I like kid stuff too. You know, I can handle some kid stuff, but I think I did a review on it. I might have done it like a Dino News review on it back in the day. So yeah, these are my choices. I'm sorry I didn't make graphics today. This would have been easier for people to tell me what I should play. But so just to recap the games that I haven't played yet that I'm considering: Jedi Fallen Order, Uncharted, The Legacy of Thieves, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, God of War from the last release, and Sackboy. Sackboy sounds not very good. I mean, the game looks fun, but the name Sackboy, really? No, he's like a knit character. He looks like he was like a doll that was sewn together by your grandparents or something. Oh man, things are getting hectic out here. I might have to call it pretty soon because I don't think I can maintain doing a show with the amount of things going on in the residence currently. I'll just lead by saying regarding the Uncharted. Okay, Fallen Order frustrated you. Yeah. That's what I've heard all around. I got a little. That was my two choices when I started Horizon were Horizon or Fallen Order, and then I decided to go Horizon because I didn't hear as many things about the controls. And then I got a little frustrated with some of the controls. But I do think that Fallen Order probably has like game mechanics that are probably actually a little bit more frustrating than what was going on with Horizon. So if Uncharted is Jason's choice, I'll probably end up doing that. I did start the God of War game a while ago, but I got excited by Ghost of Tsushima, so I ended up playing that. So I guess my thought process here is a lot of these games that I like to play are open world. They can take a long time. You know, like if you're going fast, like 50, 60 hours to beat a game, and if you're somebody that works or has other things to do and you can't play all the time, that's going to take weeks, which is cool. But I would like to play one of these, and it's going to be a slow process because, again, I'm starting my classes for my directing certificate, or going the quarter starts on next Monday, so I'm going to have less time to play. I did take this last quarter off, so that's why I did stuff this the last handful of weeks, you know, starting this show and playing as much video games as I did. So the video game playing is going to get a little thin because I still want to work on my music. I still have to do all the stuff for school, which includes writing a short film, which I'm getting pretty close to having a rough draft that I'm happy with. And I mean rough draft is having it all planned out and there, just refining dialogue and things like that. Camera shots is a big thing. So I'm gonna have some work to do this quarter. So I won't be playing as much, but I do want to have one ready to go. And you know, you heard me talk about a couple of these games so far. So far, Uncharted is the winner, because Jason was like, you should play Uncharted, and I'm like, okay. And then you know, that second Zelda game comes out in May, so I would like to be able to have finished, let's say, the Uncharted game. Is it multiple games? I think it's a collection of games, so that's fine, whatever. I would like to get through a new game, and then I would like to replay Breath of the Wild, leading into the second Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom, as they're calling it. The odd one out here is Sackboy, and I don't like the name. I feel like that's a name people probably would have called me in like junior high or high school. Hey, Sackboy. I don't know why I was thinking that. Like, I don't know. It's not like I pulled my sack out or anything like that in school. No, or not enough, I should say. But Sackboy seems like one of those. It's like a Mario kind of game, you know. And that might be something that is maybe a little easier to get through. That's not like a open world action thing. I also, you know what? I still have what is it to get through? I still have games on the Switch that I never played. Like Black Flag I talked about replaying, but I also bought the package with its Black Flag and Rogue. I never played Rogue. I really liked was it Mario 3D for Wii U? I had that, and it was a really fun game. And then they re-released it for Switch, and then they added Bowser's Fury, I think is what it's called. And I never finished that part of the game. It was like a second part of the game that they just kind of added on as DLC. So I never got to finish that either. So there's a possibility of just going back to the Switch to play some stuff. But I do like the idea of Uncharted. It's something I'm not really familiar with. Like even Fallen Order, I know the story. I spoiled myself like a year ago because I didn't think I was gonna get a PlayStation, and now I have one. So I'm like, So for a while, not being the big gamer that I am now, big gamer, not being the gamer that I am now, I used to just, if I was something I was interested in, I would just watch the cutscenes that people edit together. It's like watching a movie. Like sometimes they're like an hour or two. And you get to see, how the story plays out. And I think I did some of that with Fallen Order. I don't remember a lot of details, but there are things that I would love to go and experience myself in the game. But yeah, I don't know anything about Uncharted ultimately. So I will probably maybe step in to that next and see how I feel about that. And if Mark Wahlberg doesn't do a voice in this, I'm out. I forfeit life. I'm just kidding. I'm not even the hugest Mark Wahlberg fan. I'm indifferent. He's fine. I like him and stuff, but Donnie was always the superior entertainer, I'm just kidding. So let's see. What is tonight? Tonight is She-Hulk. Awesome. Freaking awesome. So we'll probably talk about some She-Hulk tomorrow. We'll see. We'll hopefully I like these episodes, these next couple episodes better. I guess Charlie Cox came out and said he's only in one episode of She-Hulk as Daredevil, which is cool. I like the fact that it's just I think the thing that I do appreciate about She-Hulk is Jen Walters, She-Hulk, the character, is being She-Hulk. There have been things that don't work for me very well, personally, but I don't think anything is out of character for She-Hulk as a character. She's done some weird stuff in the comics. She breaks the fourth wall. She does weird stuff. There's a precedent for her twerking in the comics. Not that she like did exactly the twerk, but she did. There was some other weird stuff I remember seeing her do in a comic run at some point. So yeah, I don't know. I just hope it gets a little better. At this point, what I would like to see from She-Hulk is it to be more Marvel instead of just being like more comedy. I would like to see more of like what's going on in the Marvel world now. It would make the show a little better for me. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll see who pops up. Maybe we'll talk about Frogman. I don't know. I've been waiting to talk about Frogman for a while. What else? I forget. But the rest of this week we've got Rings of Power on Friday. And also on Friday, the new Mars Volta record comes out, and I'll be talking about that. I don't know if I'll have had a chance to listen to the whole thing by then. But I will talk about it either Friday or maybe Monday. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what other news or stuff might be available tomorrow and Friday. But and then sometime before Wednesday next week, I'm gonna do a Rogue One rewatch, and we can talk about it leading up to Andor. But anyways guys, sorry it was a little bit lighter of an episode. I just I was in and out of the bathroom earlier today, so we'll just leave it at that. So yeah, anyways, tomorrow will be hopefully I'll have a little more energy. But until then, don't forget to check out wilddinosaur.com. It is the best place to support this channel. Get some cool gear. If you buy anything from my merch store, take a picture and send it to me, and we'll do some like customer appreciation stuff, maybe I'll tag you guys in a video or something in one of the episodes. The last thing before I get out of here that I find very important is I have a link to donate to Planned Parenthood in the description of this video. The world is on fire, and the last thing we need is a fight for reproductive health care, just in general, for men and women. And Planned Parenthood is basically the front line for all of it, and they need as much help as they can because so many people are attacking them right now. But anyways, Planned Parenthood, donate Wild Dinosaur, buy some merch. Yeah, I guess that's it. Sorry it was a little bit short, but we almost did the full hour. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow with a new episode at 6 p.m. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.